Second team AP All-American Ari McDonald had 20 points in that win against Stony Brook. BYU in the blue. Taking a look at the starting lineup for the Cougars, brought to you by Capital One. Shaylee Gonzalez, look out for her, number 2 in blue. She will be a nice complement to Paisley Harding, the WCC co-player of the year. This BYU group coming in as an 11th seed, falling in the final seconds of their conference championship. Ari McDonald on the steal, but blocked from behind as the Cougars trying to assert themselves defensively here against an Arizona team that put up 79 points in their first round game. Looking at their starting lineup, you always want to know who's complimenting the superstar, and Ari McDonald has a number of different players that she can facilitate to Kate Reese, a 3-year starter in the lineup for Adia Barnes. So the Wildcats have found a way to get it done this season, finishing second in the regular season behind Stanford, the number 1 overall seed of the Pac-12. Taking it to the basket on cue is Kate Reese.
And Kate Reese was spectacular in their first round game. She only missed 2 shots. Really efficient from the floor, had 16 points, and you can see that Arizona is going to have some mismatches today. They're a tall team, a really quick team.
Trying to create some havoc on the defensive end. Arizona with the steal. That's what they do. They like to try to turn you over, put the pressure on. And their head coach, Adia Barnes, boy, what she has done at Arizona in her 5th season now at our alma mater is just create a contender. Building this program, and it all centers around Ari McDonald, the Pac-12 Player of the Year.
BYU will typically run a man-to-man defense. They'll throw a little bit of junk in there, Tiffany, some zone, some box and one, triangle two, but right now they're going to start off in man-to-man. And keeping Ari McDonald in front of you is a problem, but they're able to get the defensive rebound.
4 consecutive turnovers, but BYU getting it right back, and that one rolls around for Lauren Gustin, the sophomore transfer out of Salem, Utah. Gustin, the double-double in that opening round game against Rutgers, and she is just one tough cookie for the Cougars. Arizona, who found great success on the offensive end, hoping that will bleed over into tonight, but the Cougars head coach trying to make sure that he figures out a way to draw up and stop them. That's Jeff Judkins in his 20th season at BYU, making their 2nd appearance in the round of 32 in the last 3 years. This group coming off a WCC, as we mentioned, championship loss. Wasn't even sure if this group would make it into the tournament. They are here, and already they proved why they should be here. Late second shot, and that's a shot clock violation for the Wildcats. Two nothing in the early going. Excuse me, 2-all in the early going. And this one, trip to the Sweet 16 is on the line. Cougars trying to get back there for the first time in 7 years. Arizona just seeking their 2nd.
It's going to be their defense, Tiffany. That is what Arizona does so well in their first round game. They had 17 steals, forced 25 turnovers. Sam Thomas had 6 of those steals. So combating that length is, using your body, shot fakes, head fakes, get them to go for that first look and then hit them with the second.
That was Gonzalez getting on the board. She's the Cougars' leading scorer, putting up about 18 a game. Driving baseline, McDonald kicking it over. Good ball movement for the Wildcats in the Kate Reese. Reese once again. And Reese responsible for all 4 points for the Wildcats. What do you see there, Steffi?
That's tough. You know, Erin McDonald is such a quick defender. She moves laterally, but also she plays with her hands too, and tough call for her. But she doesn't really get into foul trouble, so not necessarily a concern for Adia Barnes.
Two-time Pac-12
barking at the refs.
Player of the Year.
It's my fault.
Yeah, well, no.
They've done a great job all week.
Look, there's some calls that you're going to agree with and maybe some calls that you might question a little bit. That's natural. And right now, the pressure from Arizona making it tough for BYU. 5 early turnovers for the Cougars. They got to find a way to settle in. Thomas off the mark there. Yaney. Bindu Yaney with the, oh boy, excuse me, that was Trinity Baptiste. And rimming it around is McDonald. McDonald, who's the Wildcats' top scorer, puts her team up 6-4.
That first 5 minutes is tough, especially when you're playing a team as athletic and as fast as Arizona. So BYU coming off that Rutgers upset, I think just settling into their offense. They play emotion, so it's a lot of reading, a lot of cutting, and right now playing a little bit too quick and not necessarily taking their time within their offense.
I was going to ask that of you, just, you know, the pace of the game. That's always a question mark that I have, especially when you play teams that like to get up and down the floor. How does BYU take the ball back and control it to make it fit their style of play?
Well, I think that they should push when they have opportunities. See, there was that's a perfect example where you're running your offense and you make a read and you attack it. So you're patient, but you're playing with a purpose. So I think that that's the pace for the Cougars today.
Six to go on the shot clock and counting. Reese was bailed out by a foul from Sarah Hampson. It was all a dream for the BYU Cougars. They were curious to know if they would even make the tournament, and they're here in the second round. BYU seeking their 3rd trip to the Sweet 16, but this is a group who had hoped they did enough to get into the tournament. Go back to Selection Monday and Jeff Judkins and company. They were hoping, waiting, nervous to know if their name would be called.
Guys, we were not expecting that.
And coming into the tournament, they wanted to prove to themselves and to the nation, according to Shaylee Gonzalez, that they were going to fight and show that they belonged here. Double-digit seed knocking off the better seed. They did so against Rutgers. They, along with Belmont and Wright State, also had some upsets. They're out of the tournament now. BYU, the last standing here, and they're hoping that they can come out with a W here tonight over Arizona.
What a great story for BYU. I mean, this is why we play the game. This is why you come to the NCAA tournament, because anything can happen. And just a week ago or a week and a half ago, they didn't even know if they'd make it to the tournament, but to have an opportunity to go to the Sweet 16, a very real thing for the Cougars today. Just locked in on defense, 6-6 all here in the first quarter.
Erin McDonald knocking down the jumper just behind the free throw line. 4 points now for the second team All-American out of Fresno, California. And coming out of the timeout, BYU getting on the board, looking renewed there. the bucket by Tegan Graham. Graham, who was a Colgate transfer and coming in as a grad transfer, has helped to boost this BYU group. Again, working deep into the shot clock. McDonald behind that screen for three, off the mark.
A little bit sloppy to start this game. Tiffany combined 7 turnovers in the first quarter for both teams, 5 for BYU, but they've settled down a little bit. But Arizona is very much at its best when they're pushing the ball in transition. When they're running, they're forcing steals, and they're capitalizing on the off turnovers. So when it slows down like this, I think it favors BYU to turn it into a half-court game.
McDonald, she will always have the rock in her hand, looking for Trinity Baptiste, who has come over from Virginia Tech. And boy, Trinity Baptiste just provides such a nice muscle inside, kind of that enforcer for the Wildcats.
And she only missed 2 shots. I mean, between Trinity Baptiste and Kate Reese, they were very efficient in that first round game, but Trinity Baptiste just brings this toughness, and she'll play and guard anyone at any given moment. I mean, she can guard 1 through 5.
See her collecting the rebound there, averaging just about 6 a game, and she's been an important vocal leader for this team as well. Coming in, and you shared the story about, you know, her wanting to play during this time of year and not being off during spring break, but actually participating in March Madness, and she's gotten that opportunity here with the Wildcats. Tegan Graham letting it fly, got it to go. First lead of the ball game for BYU.
Miss Big Shot, that's what they call her, Tegan Graham.
Well, hasn't she been an unsung hero of this season for the Cougars? And there, good defense by BYU off the turnover. Arizona able to get back, but Albiero puts it up at the free throw line. Reese on the rebound. Inside a minute of the second round game between BYU and Arizona. BYU after their first lead of the ball game. Chance to go to the Sweet 16. Winner go home at this point, and what a block right there. Tegan Graham doing it on both ends. That one was deflected, and Sam Thomas trying to wrestle around that rebound.
A little bit back and forth here in this first quarter to finish play, but Tegan Graham, they call her Miss Big Shot for a reason. The grad transfer have an immediate impact. How about big block? Great help side by Graham too. Really active, and she has really made a difference for this Cougars lineup. I know Jeff Judkins has said that when he was recruiting her to spend her final years, we can get to the NCAA tournament, and she took that opportunity, and they're here.
14th trip to the tournament for BYU. Meanwhile, throwing it up and getting the rebound. There it is, Bindu Yanni, giving Arizona the 1-point lead to end the first quarter.
Well, we've got a good one here in San Antonio. Back and forth. Bindu Yanni, her athleticism, doesn't get the first one, gets the second one. How athletic, special by the senior.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Geico. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance.
Back here at UTSA as we take a look at the Mercado region, and I'll tell you this, Texas A&M in a battle with Iowa State. They survived their first round game. The winner of this game will go on to face either the Aggies or Iowa State. 5 more tickets punched so far today. We've got 3 more to go. Congratulations to Missouri State out of the Missouri Valley Conference with their second straight Sweet 16. But how about Louisville, Steffi? You and I were watching that game, and they had to come back from a big deficit.
Yeah. You know, 2 teams really stand out to me. I mean, Indiana has been tough all year. Missouri State, I think Oregon has kind of been a little bit up and down just because of the fluctuation with their roster this season. But Maryland has looked really good. I mean, really good and tough. I mean, the 2 seeds in this NCAA tournament are so tough. I think I heard Landers and Lobo in studio talking about the separation between 1s and 2s this year is so close. There's not a lot. And Arizona with the steal as Pellington leads the break there. But Louisville's just kind of a team, Tiffany, that they hang around, they might be down, but they just got so much fight. I mean, they have fight. And this is exactly what Arizona has got to start doing. As I mentioned in that first round game, 17 steals. There's opportunities to play those passing lanes if BYU gets a little sloppy.
And those steals tonight have helped them. And in this instance, they're now on a 6-0 run to take the lead here. BYU sees Hampson check back in. Hampson, number 22, gets the ball right there. She's playing with foul trouble, 2 fouls, but she rings up the bucket.
Well, at 6'7", I mean, you gotta just put it right on the money to her, and she doesn't have to do much but turn and score. And Hampson there does a good job of just keeping the ball high, knowing Arizona's gonna try and come for her.
They kick it out, a 3, and off the mark. And right now, we told you about Paisley Harding and just how good she is. Not on the floor right now for BYU. She's been held scoreless. Shaylee Gonzalez in these instances also usually steps in and fills in and does a really nice job as the leading scorer. They've got to get her going. She's got 4 points, 2 of 3 from the floor, but they need more of Shaylee.
Well, Paisley Harding is really the vocal, I mean, the most outspoken, most passionate visibly that we can see. And Shaylee Gonzalez is kind of like that quiet, silent assassin. I mean, she'll get you, catch you sleeping defensively and can really make you pay. But I think it's between Shaylee Gonzalez, Paisley Harding, and then Tegan Graham. I mean, even Lauren Gus, I mean, those players have been really consistent for BYU all season long, scoring-wise.
Well, Kate Reese thought Pellington was going to shoot that, was readying for the rebound, was not expecting the pass, a turnover, and a good chance for BYU to draw closer, perhaps tie it up. And Gonzalez, as we were just talking about, trying to get her offensive game going, she's fouled and will go to the line. A player who was integral in that win against Rutgers, went 10 of 11 from the free throw line, including some clutch ones down the stretch. Coming up next over on ESPN2, 6-seeded Texas taking on 3-seeded UCLA at the Alamo Dome. You can always watch on the ESPN app. Steffi, that's going to be a really good matchup. How about Big Schaefer doing a great job with the Longhorns in Austin, as he has just been a proven winner coming over from Mississippi State, taking over that Texas program, and once more he's back in the tournament.
And you want to, of course, watch Charlie Collier, who is a projected #1 WNBA draft pick. She is all that and then some for Vic Schaefer.
We're getting another look here at one of the projected draft picks for this summer, Ari McDonald for Arizona. Her team up by a point, 5 to go on the shot clock. She's got the ball in her hands, tries to distribute, and off the fingertips of her teammate, Kate Reese. Dia Barnes, who was a baller in her own right.
to say the
She
least. I mean, both of these
holds
coaches
it down for
both
sure.
these
Yeah, both
coaches,
these
right?
coaches. Barnes, the most points in an Arizona uniform. She went on to play pro, won a championship, and that one was swatted away by Lauren Ware. Ware, a freshman that they're pretty high on out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Well, terrific timing by Ware, who has such great size at 6'5", and she comes in and immediately makes an impact, whether it's on the defensive side of the floor or offensively rebounding, making her presence felt. But yes, I mean, she's a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year in her state, and a lot of upside for her.
Both she and Sarah Hampson for BYU, both basketball and having played volleyball at their respective programs. You see they just know how to block. They call it high hands.
Well, we saw that from Stanford's Cameron Brink
Yeah.
last night, her ability to block shots, and she's a state champion in volleyball, so there's definitely some carryover in terms of blocking shots from volleyball to basketball. Did you ever play volleyball?
No, I didn't. And Hampson will go to the bench. She's in foul trouble here. That was a question I think coming in. Yes, 6'7", but how would her size match up with the speed of Arizona? NCAA's active blocks leader. On the floor, wrapped up. Arizona coming away with it as McDonald showing off some quickness there to get to the ball.
Well, this game has been so physical, and both BYU and Arizona are really scrappy teams. It's big.
How about it? Coach Barnes is loving it. Sam Thomas doing her thing. Thomas, who only had 2 points in their first round matchup, but they want her to shoot more, and you see why. The turnaround from Harding. Harding, her first points of the ball game. Prior to that was 0 of 5 from the floor, and now Paisley Harding. Watch out for number 13 in blue. Baptiste going up, off the glass, so strong. Gonzalez left open for 3 and hits. Shaylee Gonzalez, the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, has 9 points. And on the rebound, a chance to tie it, perhaps take the lead. Player coming off an ACL injury back in the summer of 2019, missed all of last year, and she was hungry to return. They're glad to have her back for this season in this run in the NCAA tournament.
BYU's bench getting up, getting after it. The Cougars trying to play upset in this game. Paisley Harding working in the post. She's a guard, but she can do it everywhere. Hanging close with Arizona.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented by Capital One, is brought to you by Burger King. Mix and match your favorites for just $5.
Shaylee Gonzalez for BYU, who played the entire game in the first round, hasn't come out this game either. She's got 9 points early, doing it inside and then hitting some shots on the outside. But talking to her head coach about her ability this season, coming off an injury. And she's just a student of the game, Tiffany. You know, ask him a lot of questions, and she's a gym rat, and she's really just poured so much energy, and her toughness and her dedication has really brought her game to the next level, coming off that injury where it's tough to come back, but she's come back with a vengeance.
Well, he mentioned that, you know, she just works without ceasing, and we've seen here tonight her be so efficient from the floor. 3 of 4, the rest of her team 5 of 17. She has helped us shoulder the load for BYU early on in this ball game. And he also challenged her to be more of an offensive threat. She's done that and then some. Gonzalez over to Harding. And then back the other way, taking some contact there was Paisley Harding, and Harding is still on the ground. Paisley Harding, who is the heartbeat of this team, will be assisted over to the bench after this.
Oof.
Oof, yeah. Fiery player, and you see she took a hard spill to the floor. Standing up, and she'll look on. She tries to collect herself. Arizona with a 2-point lead. Thomas puts it on the floor, the lefty. Off the miss.
Well, BYU's done such a good job of doubling when the ball goes into the post. I think early on in that first quarter they tried to play a little bit one-on-one, but now sending a double, and then the ability to secure that defensive rebound has been key for the Cougars.
And Stephanie, when you're looking at both of these teams, they're playing solid basketball, but maybe not up to the level, not where they would like to be. What do they have to do in these final 3 minutes plus to try to assert themselves and either team take a bigger lead into the locker room?
I think it's just patience offensively, and then just continuing. We've seen the intensity on the defensive side of the floor. It's just shots aren't necessarily falling. It's a late call by the referee on that possession. But look, Arizona, terrific defensive team in the Pac-12. I mean, that's really what leads the way for the Wildcats. But BYU, I mean, they're 22nd in field goal percentage defense in the country. And they do a little differently. They're not going to, get out in the passing lanes as much, but they're tough and scrappy. They sit low. They'll send the double.
Coming up at the half on the AT&T 5G halftime from the studio, Maria Taylor, Andy Landers, Rebecca Lobo, they'll break down Maryland and how explosive they are on offense, putting up big points, plus Oregon with a win to advance over the higher-seeded Georgia Bulldogs. They'll break it all down and more coming up in just a minute. Open look for three, and knocking it down is Kaylee Smiler. Smiler, the sophomore, with her first points of the game, ties the ball game up at 23 all. We expected this one to be a good ball game, a tight one, 5 ties, 4 lead changes already. In traffic, McDonald gets it back out, open look, Baptiste, straight on for 3, misses. And Gonzalez, who takes a spill to the floor, she's fouled, and going back to the line.
And here's this Arizona trap that's coming, and you have to credit Shaylee Gonzalez. She keeps her dribble alive, but also the second pass from Tegan Graham to find Smiler open for three. When traps come, you just got to keep your dribble alive. You got to stay poised because there's going to be someone open. Great execution by BYU. You asked me what either team could do. That's kind of what I'm talking about, is just stay composed, run through your offense, make good decisions. At this point in the game, every team is good. It's about who's making the best decisions at the right time.
BYU fans who traveled here loving it right now. Cougars back on top, 25-23. Last time BYU sent a team to the Sweet 16 was 2014. Reese. Gonzalez pulls it up again. Albiero can't knock down the three. "90 seconds to go on this first half between BYU and Arizona. The 3 seed knocked off Stony Brook to get here. McDonald pulls the trigger, can't connect.
Well, Tiffany, we saw 1 3 seed go down today in Georgia, losing to Oregon. And the interesting part about this matchup is neither team has really been in this situation before. None of these players on the floor. It's been a while for Arizona.
Three again, not connecting there. BYU 3 of 11 from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Arizona has missed their last 7 shots. Both teams wanting to finish out the quarter and the half strong. And right now, Steffi, shots just not falling for the Wildcats.
Well, they're
as a shooter, you
offense.
say you just keep shooting, right?
I think you have to definitely go inside. The problem is when Arizona has thrown the ball inside, a double has come from BYU, and they're leaving someone open. They're daring Arizona to shoot right now. The shots just aren't falling. I think you got to try and get to the free throw line, try and draw some fouls.
That was the idea for Kate Reese, but not enough contact drawn there. BYU with the ball and an opportunity to add to this lead going into the locker room. You see 15-1 when they lead at the half. Spin move. And that's how the quarter will end. Shaylee Gonzalez with 11 points, shooting 50% from the floor. Her BYU Cougars up by a couple. To your point, 88 consecutive games in double figures. You want to know what's at stake? We'll tell you really quickly. A trip to the Sweet 16, a chance to be one of the final 16 teams standing. The winner in this Mercado region will go on to face either Texas A&M or Iowa State. They are currently in action as well right now. It's Iowa State up by 5 over on ESPN2. Coming out of the locker room, BYU putting up a shot, no good. Now this is an Arizona team who had their best finish in program history back in 1998. Their head coach, Dia Barnes, was a part of that team. They are hoping for a chance at a round of 16 come this weekend. Rolling around and in the bucket, it's good for BYU. Albiero with her first 2 points of the game. The senior out of Brazil who was scoreless in her first round game, and BYU out to their largest lead of the game just by 4. You talked about it, Steffi. A slugfest back and forth. Hampson, the blocks leader for BYU, and she's getting it done. They tried it. Kate Reese denied a couple times. This rolls around. as Arizona is able to come away with the bucket in that possession.
Like to see Kate Reese not necessarily shy away from Sarah Hampson, but she just lower your shoulder a little bit, draw a fourth foul against Hampson, who had to set out the majority of that second quarter with foul trouble.
Passing it back off to Gonzalez. And Baptiste coming away with the rebound. She scored 4 quick points in this game and then has been held silent. We'll see who takes off. Baptiste had an open look, dribbled in a little bit closer and was met by the 6'7" Hampson. Here's Kate Reese getting in the paint. Back to Baptiste. Body, got it. Quickly stolen away by Arizona. The zip pass to the top of the key, and Reese hits the trifecta. Kate Reese with 7 points, and the Wildcats on a 7-0 run. So a little different than what we saw, Steffi, in that first half. Now shots starting to fall on both sides.
I think also Erin McDonald being aggressive and looking for her shot, but finding her teammates. She set up Kate Reese on that previous pass, but you see a little bit more energy and more intensity from Erin McDonald. And Trinity Baptist, see how she goes right at Sarah Hampson. She doesn't shy away, and she's got that toughness and ability to get to the rim and score. And then Kate Reese just spotting up. Ugly reaction. They know what's at stake.
Arizona is showing they're not ready to go back to Tucson just yet. This group who is coming out of the Pac-12. Walked away with 5 wins over ranked teams during the regular season and conference play. Kate Reese trapping along with Yaney. BYU still able to keep it moving. Blocked by McDonald. Several bodies falling, but none more important than the ball dropping for the Cougars.
Shaylee Gonzalez, she just continues to work. She doesn't give up on the play, stays with it, loses Erin McDonald, takes the contact from Kate Reese. Can't say enough about the 5'10" sophomore just not giving up on every single play. Remember, she didn't come out of the game against Rutgers. She hasn't come out of this game either.
Gonzalez, the sophomore out of Gilbert, Arizona, visited BYU elite camps as a teenager. Now, in her sophomore campaign, with a chance to go to the Sweet 16. She's playing like she wants to keep it going. 14 points for Gonzalez, game high. And the Cougars showing off a little defense as well. Gonzalez was in on that play as well. So they put 12 back on the shot clock on the inbound. McDonald to Reese. Reese, baseline, and one! Look at the emotion from Kate Reese.
She has been outstanding to start this second half. Great read. Defense commits to Erin McDonald. She goes right to the basket, and look, she is fired up. This Arizona team has they have so much they want to prove to the whole world.
Off the miss, they get the ball back. Reese asking for it inside again, trying to get position, and a 3-second violation against the Wildcats.
See if they can force some turnovers with that full court pressure. I mean, they play full court man and really get after the guards.
Bodies on the floor going for that 50-50 ball. Baptiste was tied up. And Arizona with the possession arrow. And Steffi, you just get a feel in a sense that this one has not gotten away from either team. This one feels like it's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, it's both teams responding, right? Somebody, Kate Reese, knocks down a big three, and then Shaylee Gonzalez answers. I'm waiting for Paisley Harding. I mean, she had such a good first-round game. You know she's bound to hit a big shot. When's it going to come? Kate Reese!
Kate Reese! Jinx partner, 1, 2, 3. That's how many she registered on that shot. Arizona's made 5 straight shots. Lead back out to 4. BYU looking to answer. Tegan Graham misses big shot. Oh yeah. Both teams trading buckets. It's getting fun, folks, if you're just tuning in. We've got a slugfest in action. Reese tangled up underneath. She's whistled for the foul, but I'll tell you this is a young lady who says, I am here. She's arrived at this year's NCAA tournament, pumped up, feeling it, fired up. Let's go. Her team up by 1.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented by Capital One, is brought to you by Geico. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance.
Talk about big shots on the BYU, and how about big shots from Kate Reese today? The most consistent player since she's put on an Arizona jersey. She's started every game, and she has been huge for the Wildcats to start this third quarter, hitting threes, being aggressive, but more importantly, firing her team up, Tiffany.
And you know she's fired up because she's from Cypress, Texas, outside of the Houston area, just under 3 hours away from San Antonio. So she's back in the Lone Star State and making herself look really comfortable. She's got 8 of the team's 13 points so far in this third quarter. Cougars continuing to hang right in there with them, just trailing by 1. McDonald high off the glass. Reese on the boards. Baptiste, another opportunity. 3 chances there. And Arizona comes up empty.
All I got to say is the referees are letting them play. I mean, there was a lot of contact on this play. There, could have been a charge, right up with it. On this play, Baptiste, yeah, a little bit of a foul for Arizona, but they are energized defensively, but they're also hitting shots, Tiffany. I mean, you asked me the difference to start this third quarter. Their shots are starting to fall, and then they're playing with more intensity on the defensive end of the floor.
Well, make sure you tune in to ESPN and the ESPN app Thursday at 7 when NC State takes on Colorado State in the first game of an NIT quarterfinals doubleheader. Visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. How about the Wolfpack on the ladies' side? Advancing in this Mercado region, the number 1 seed, taking on Indiana in the Sweet 16. That one blocked from behind by Thomas. Sam Thomas, the senior out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, she has tremendous length, 6 feet, but her ability to block shots, to get steals, defend 1 through 5, just a complete player.
Also, the Pac-12 Scholar Athlete of the Year is Sam Thomas. An opportunity to have an internship with Nike, and her team gets the ball right back. McDonald tried to zip it in there and off the hands, but man, that was like, whoo!
I mean, she is an elite passer, Tiffany. In the court vision, she sees it, and it just gets off the fingertips of Puello. And that's why WNBA GMs are excited about Ari McDonald.
Lightning quick speed for the guard. Meanwhile, Shaylee Gonzalez, who has been held to just 3 points in this third quarter, and we thought that this was going to be an exciting backcourt matchup, seeing some great guards with Ari McDonald. Paisley Harding, who had 28 points in her first round game, took a hard spill in that first half. She's only gotten 2, but Shaylee Gonzalez has done more than enough to try to help her team out as the leading scorer for the Cougars and here tonight. Reese asking for it. Reese with the move. And Gustin with the rebound. She is a rebounding machine. We talked about the toughness earlier in this game of what she brings to the floor. She's got 8 boards for the Cougars. Nice pass. And it won't go, but free throws on the way.
And a nice play from BYU just to get out of the stagnant flow of their offense. It's just a quick little give and go, something you practice every day. You warm up, little give and go, and Shaylee Gonzalez now gets a chance to go to the free throw line, somewhere she was very successful in the first round. Classic.
Gonzalez, who was a part of that BYU team that made it to the tournament back in 2018. One of those gamers Coach Judkins talked about, just never backing down, just absolutely fearless. Nice 15-footer hit from Lauren Gustin. Gustin, who grew up just outside of Provo. We mentioned transferred in from JUCO and now is an AP All-American honorable mention.
And she's really been steady for them defensively, too, guarding Kate Reese. I know Reese has hit some big-time buckets, but
Yaney looking for Reese. The double down. Tegan Graham coming around and getting a hand on that.
yeah, Reese earned
will take a breather,
earned this
right?
break, man. She earned that break. You could see it with her look on her face coming off the floor. But, man, BYU has been so successful with that double. I love the call. Daring Arizona to shoot.
Four to go on the shot clock. Thomas got to put it up. Does. Pops in and out. Hampson with the rebound. The drive. Pellington back the other way. When Pellington comes in, she provides a nice little spark off the bench, transferred in from Oklahoma. She's athletic, slasher type, can get to the rim. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Sweet 16 begins Saturday on CBS and TBS, or stream games on the March Madness Live app from anywhere. For more information on game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. About the women also in action this weekend as well, March 27th and 28th, starting Saturday. And guess who's going to be back on the sidelines, Steffi?
Who?
Gino Auriemma for the UConn Huskies, out of what you call Champions Alley, aka the
Champions
Riverwalk
Alley
region.
We've got some really good matchups on the horizon in the Sweet 16. Got a good one here, just a 1-point game.
Talk about those matchups. UConn, Iowa, Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark. Oh, brother, buckle up. Arizona has gone cold here in the last 5 minutes. Lauren Ware. About 5 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Stolen away by Ari McDonald. McDonald with the Jets on. Leaves it short, but she's fouled.
And this is what I'm talking about, her ability to impact both sides of the court. Defensively, quick hands, she moves. She reads the defense so well. No, she stays so low, Tiff, when she's guarding somebody, so she's just locked in on a player's, we used to say belly button, right? So you're not watching the ball, you're watching their belly button, because the ball's gonna move everywhere, but she stays locked into that core section.
Tenacious defender, and we saw a little bit why right there. Tie ball game. And BYU bringing it up the court. Gonzalez, who's had the hot hand, passes it over. Gustin can't connect. It's been 8 ties in this ball game, and that's where we are right now. A trip to the Sweet 16 is on the line from San Antonio. Come back with us. It should be a great finish. $37-all heading into the fourth quarter. Fans inside the arena at UTSA, they are ready. Cougars pumped up with the spatula, spoon, guitar. What is this, Steffi?
Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy.
Opportunity to get to the Sweet 16 and keep on dancing. On the line for both of these teams. BYU. It's been 7 years since they made it as one of the final 16 teams still standing. Arizona, you have to go back to 1998 when the Wildcats last made their appearance. And what's so neat about that, Steffi, is the fact that this is a Arizona program that faced off against UConn in that 1998 year, and then you just feel like this game is going to give us some madness here, because they created a little madness when they got to the Sweet 16 back in 98. They were wanting to cook up some more here. That is, apparently I am crazy. He's deep into the shot clock, moving around. Paisley Harding back in the ball game. She misses. Looking for the call there. Harding, who has had a Tough day at the office, just 1 of 9 from the floor. Sam Thomas, good look, deep three.
You know, Tiffany, something that Paisley Harding can do differently offensively, because she is a complete scorer. She's got to pull up and hit the mid-range. She can't go into the trees in the paint. She's tried that all game long, pull up and hit a mid-range. It's trouble for her.
Quick hands, you see she tried to take it inside. McDonald on the break, the hard stop, up and in. Now an 89th consecutive game in double figures for Aerie McDonald.
Aerie McDonald making it look easy in transition. Heady play by the senior to make it a close game here in San Antonio.
Well, thanks so much, Maria. The Aggies in a dogfight with the Cyclones. You saw that. The winner of that game will go on to face the winner of this one between Arizona and BYU, and it has certainly been a tightly contested game all night long. Aerie McDonald, two-time All-American, she continues to impress, just adding to her list of accolades and accomplishments. How cool is this? 89 consecutive games in double figures. How tough is that to do? And you said something earlier that, yeah, great company coming out of the Pac-12. You said she kind of reminded you in some ways of Kelsey Plum. How?
She definitely reminds me of Kelsey Blum. Their ability, both lefties, and both have such a knack for scoring, consistency, getting to the rim, pulling up, hitting the mid-range, but also finding their teammates. And that's like, even with talking to Mike Neighbors covering Arkansas games, he'd find a way to talk about Aerie McDonald and relate it to Kelsey Plum. I mean, he got to coach both of them, and now obviously Adia Barnes coaching her up. She talks about Aerie McDonald and their journey and just kind of how she's like a little sister to her.
Well, Barnes, who was at Washington, moved over. McDonald followed her and several other players because they talked about wanting to do something special, wanting to have an opportunity to not only get to the NCAA tournament, but try to make a good run at it. And this is the first appearance in the tourney since 2005 for the Wildcats. 39 all. Open look in the corner, and it won't go. BYU coming back the other way. Shaylee Gonzalez, they've got to find a way to get her cranked up and going again, much like they saw her do in the first half. She had 11 points through the first 2 quarters. Since then, just 3. Who else is going to answer the call? Lauren Gustin says, I will. Played with Gonzalez in high school, and after transferring from Salt Lake City Community College, wanted to be reunited with her high school teammate. Here's Pellington kicking it over. Puello back to Pellington. Hesitation, dribble in, and off the mark.
Last 5 minutes of this game, Tiffany, it's gonna be about execution. It's about good decision making, being smart with the basketball. I love the decision here by Gustin to take the 6'5" freshman Lauren Ware off the bounce. She's got some quickness over her.
Gustin, who has just come in and handled her business since enrolling at BYU. Coach Judkins says it's a player who just never gets tired. And Gonzalez saying, wait a minute, no, I'm not tired yet. A 6-0 run for BYU.
BYU Up by 4, 5 minutes to go. A Sweet 16 on the line. Last time they've been was 2014. Shaylee Gonzalez trying to lead her team there.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Burger King. Mix and match your favorites for just $5.
The NCAA Women's Championship continues on our ESPN networks, all leading up, trying to get right there to the Alamo Dome. 3 more teams with an opportunity to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. Coverage begins March 27th and 28th, all leading up to that championship game over on ESPN on April 4th. Hope you got a refreshing beverage, some Vittles, you took your last restroom break because you do not want to move away from this TV. Chance to go to the Sweet 16 on the line for both teams. Aerie McDonald knocking down the 3 coming out of the timeout. And the Wildcats trailing by just 1. 3 seed in the Mercado region has been going back and forth with BYU, the 11th seed, already pulled off an upset in the first round. One to go on the shot clock, and the violation. Cougars turn it over.
You're looking at your Pac-12 Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, Aerie McDonald. Little shake, a little bake for 3.
Wildcats on the bench, loving it, feeling it. 1-point ball game. BYU hanging on right here with under 4 minutes to go. Baptiste with the rebound, controlling the board. Sam Thomas letting it fly once more. This time she connects.
And McDonald is all over Shaylee Gonzalez, trying to completely deny her the basketball.
Gonzalez stepped back, and that was just a tough shot right there. And if you're wondering where Paisley Harding is, if you've been following BYU in this tournament, she took a hard fall in that first half. So she's only played about 22 minutes, 2 points, but her team has gone neck and neck with Arizona. Nice crossover move. And Helena Puello putting her team up by 4. A shot of Harding on the bench. You know, she is just an emotional leader for this team, wears her heart on her sleeve. She's been pumping up, and she'll be really pumped up if they can hit that one. Wildcats scored the last 8 points. Baptiste working on Gustin. Back out. Puello puts it up again. Way off the mark.
Don't have to rush if you're BYU. There's 2 minutes. You're down by 4. You want to run through your offense. You want to get a good look. Obviously, Shaylee Gonzalez or miss big shot here.
Woo-hoo! Tegan Graham. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. One-point ball game. Baptiste keep passing up the shot. That's not what she does. Like to go inside. Kate Reese was asking for it. McDonald, step back 3. Batted away by Baptiste to keep that one alive, and another opportunity here for Arizona. That was big, Steffi.
Might be one of the biggest plays of the game by Baptiste.
And it turns into 2 points on the drive from Aerie McDonald. In these situations, win or go home, you see teams, players putting it all out on the line. Foul by Baptiste as she collides with Graham.
Tiff, watch this play by Trinity Baptiste. She makes this Aerie McDonald layup possible. Comes in here, tips it out to her teammate, Sam Thomas, slows it down, and then you let Aerie McDonald go to work. Tough to guard that, 5'6", but so explosive. Look, Trinity Baptiste, she does a little bit of everything for Dia Barnes. She's got 11 rebounds, yeah, but that one, that tip out won't count. Made the difference.
She's fouled out of the ball game, so that will be big, something we can keep our eye on with her team leading by 3. BYU spinning a timeout here with 55.8 seconds to go. And if you're Coach Jed Judkins, who obviously has a great pedigree having played in the NBA, been in these big situations when he was at Utah, what does he tell his team here?
Well, just be composed, play with poise, and you want to take care of the basketball. You want to make good decisions and really value the basketball. You know that Arizona's going to come all over you in terms of their defensive pressure, right? So catch, pass, communicate, make sure you're running through your offense. Don't have to take a quick shot here, but you want a good look.
This is a scrappy BYU team who has been in some tight games over the last few weeks. And an open look there for 3, no good. Big rebound and stripped away by McDonald. Albiero right up on McDonald. Plenty of fouls to give on both sides, so the strategy here is play keep away from BYU, and finally you see a foul there, Steffi. That's just the first foul for the Cougars.
Yeah, and that's what really starts to catch up with you too. It's been a pretty clean game so far in this fourth quarter.
You see the angst on the face of the fans as Arizona spins a timeout. Both teams have 2 remaining. While we have this time, let's take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. It goes to Aerie McDonald.
McDonald stepping up the most when her team needed it, especially in this second half. Big buckets all around, but also her defensive abilities guarding Shaylee Gonzalez, but she has been tremendous in both games. Love her intensity, love her passion for the game. She wants to take Arizona to the Sweet 16. That's why she followed Adia Barnes to Arizona. They wanted to do something together. Obviously, McDonald leads the way.
She took that leap of faith, and right now she's 19.3 seconds from being able to do something that hadn't been done since 1998, trying to advance to the second Sweet 16 in school history. McDonald has done her part thus far, registering a double-double here tonight. So BYU, you see their thought here. Got to foul some more, but they're knocked away by Albiero. Well, if we've seen one thing about BYU, you know they're not going away. You know that they are going to fight and claw all the way to the end.
Well, when you got fouls to give, you go for the steal, and you got to be physical so that you don't leave the referee the option of, is it a foul or is it not? So you're going to be physical. You're trying to get, obviously, Paisley Harding now. She's back in the game. She's a physical defender, too. You don't want to shove anybody.
One more before they send Arizona. Yeah. One more before they send Arizona to the line. And quickly fouling. Albiero is whistled for it. And now it will be up to Arizona to try to put this game away at the free throw line. Sam Thomas has a couple of free throws coming. The Wildcats 4 of 11 tonight from the charity stripe. Thomas, a 90% free throw shooter. She knocks down the first. Two-possession ball game now. And off the miss, the Cougars have one timeout remaining. So Steffi, now this is crunch time. This is critical for BYU. What are you drawing up?
Everyone's got their own philosophy. With 15 seconds left, you could say quick two and then foul Arizona, right? I think you got to take your first available option. If that's a three, you take it. You know, you make this a 1-point game instead of a 2-point game and gamble with Arizona hitting both free throws if you foul. So Shaylee Gonzalez has 16 points, and she's 1 of 3. And I think Tegan Graham, 10 in blue, is somebody you're going to watch for on this possession. She is a gamer, and she's 3 of 7 from the three-point line today.
Now, if you're Arizona, you've got a couple of fouls to give here. So,
yeah,
what's your defensive strategy?
Well, I think that's a great point, because it looks like if BYU is going to get in rhythm to take a shot, you can foul, you can disrupt a play, get them out of sync offensively. So I wouldn't be surprised here if Arizona, you know, Shaylee Gonzalez gets the ball, starts to dribble, they foul her. They try to make it sloppy and chop this last 15 seconds up.
Well, with that timeout, BYU able to advance the ball, so they will have it in their half court. Gonzalez, who has played every minute of this ball game, has helped to carry this team. Cougars wanting to try to advance to the Sweet 16. Paisley Harding is watching on the inbound was Graham. Got to get something up, look for something good. Ari McDonald steals it away. McDonald, and how fitting is this? The defense of Arizona coming through when they needed it most. The Wildcats are headed back to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1998, just the second time in program history. And just a tough end to the season for the BYU Cougars, who had a great first round game. Tough finish here, but congrats to BYU for making it to the round of 32.
Ari McDonald showcasing why she is one of the best defenders in the country. So quick laterally, but also her hands. And she doesn't leave any margin here. She goes and gets that bucket to seal the deal as the senior advances to the Sweet 16. Adia Barnes and her bench loving it.
Barnes, who was a part of that 1998 Sweet 16 team,